On today's In Event Talks, we're going to be speaking about how to improve your personal brand. And this is quite frankly a topic that I think everyone should pay attention to in 2022. If you've been on LinkedIn, then you've definitely seen how it can function in today's world. And to provide insights on our topic, we have with us an incredible guest today. Her name is Alesia Hendley. She is the business development representative at Audinate, an AV networking technology provider. She's also a multimedia journalist and content creator. When did you decide to start working on your personal brand, and what led you to make that decision?
Yeah, so I started before I say that though. What's up, Tampa? I see you in the building. I'm in Tampa too, so we'll have to connect.
Shout out
Um,
to
yeah,
Tampa.
shout out to Tampa. But it started for me back in like 2014. I was working in a space to where I knew I was not going to be my boss or my boss's boss within like the next 10 years, right? Just because of people get in those positions and they stay there forever, until they retire, and it's very hard to work your way up within a certain time frame. And I have my own set of personal goals that I knew I was trying to achieve within my career. So in 2014, when I was an end user, I started blogging and kind of showcasing like behind the scenes, right? Before we went live, I was talking with the team about us AV kind of ninjas, right? The AV people are in the background. You don't see us unless something goes wrong. Then everybody turns around and is like, oh, who's that sound person? Or what's wrong with this digital signage board, right? You don't see us. So I was trying to figure out a way to tell the story of what I did within my career, because a lot of people didn't understand, like, oh, what do you do? I know that you make a decent living, but what actually do you do? So I started blogging in about 2014, and then that's when things really changed the game for me. Like, I'm not a writer, but I found ways to talk about the products I was using. I found ways to tell the story of what I actually do in this industry. And then I was showcasing like the latest and greatest technologies, which was also adding value to the community that I was a part of. So that's where it all started back in about 2014 for me.
So I'd like to touch base on a couple examples. And one of the ones that comes to mind is Oprah Winfrey.
Uh-huh.
So she's easily one of the queens of personal branding. One of
Right.
the few people in the world who everyone knows just by mentioning her first name. You don't even have to say Winfrey. Everybody just knows instantly. As soon as you say Oprah, that's who it is. Then even just the O as well. As soon as an
Yep.
O is in front of something, you instantly associate it with her. So she clearly knows about personal branding and has managed to capitalize on it in ways that few others have accomplished, which
Mhm.
has helped her to live her dream life and also just get paid to speak, which is one of the things that she did initially. She always said that she wanted to get paid to speak, and now she does.
Yep.
So just analyzing an Oprah from a personal branding perspective, what do you think are some of the keys to her success?
Ah, man, I love Oprah. I was able to see her once when she went on tour, maybe like 10 years ago. And I went by myself and I was like in the audience, like, "Wah!" Like I was screaming like it was LeBron James or something, it was amazing. Oprah, you were definitely right, has set the standard, especially for the Black community. Like she was that figure that we saw was like, okay, we can actually own assets, we can actually create our own paths and do our own thing. So Oprah is always dope. But I think the biggest thing, I was watching recently one of her 60-minute interviews from back in the day went live, and this was like right at the start of the Oprah Winfrey talk show. And I think her number one thing to success was that, you know, she believed that she would still do well, because a lot of people didn't think her TV show would do well. The guy asked her, he said, yeah, the show's going to start. And what if it fails? And she said, I personally will still do well because I believe success is how I treat myself and how I treat other people.
Mm,
And that right there was very like powerful to me, because she didn't base her success off of the talk show, off of the books, off of the speaking. She based success off of a purpose. And when she focused on that purpose, then everything came together. So I think that was probably the biggest um, take takeaway that I've taken away from her career over time, was that she built her foundation on a very strong purpose that led to her success.